Is there a technology, blockchain, that will turn out to be very useful, whether done by corporations and governments and everybody else? I am sure the answer is yes. There's a useful technology, et cetera, et cetera. Does this justify trillions of dollars of perceived wealth? No, it doesn't.
It might amount to trillions of dollars of wealth, eventually.
If they can find a usefulness for it when it's integrated into the economy, it will perhaps facilitate productivity, like many ideas do.
Jeremy, I'm curious to know if in the 12 months since we last spoke, you've changed your view on cryptocurrencies.
I have spent a lot of time in the last year on cryptocurrencies. They may not be good for buying groceries. They may not be a store of value. They may be highly correlated with the speculative stocks. They may have come down 40, 50% like the specs, but they do something way over my head to understand.
Do you buy the argument that there is an important difference between Bitcoin on the one hand and at least a couple of other cryptocurrencies on the other? And I'll name them. Ethereum, that's a blockchain, Ether is the coin, and Solana. And the difference, and I'll do my best to articulate it, is that those other blockchains are actually building blocks for new businesses that will prove to be revolutionary because they will eliminate things or help to eliminate things that I suspect you don't like. Transactional friction in the banking system and rent-taking that remains embedded in legacy financial institutions.
So the question is there a technology, blockchain, that will turn out to be very useful, whether done by corporations and governments and everybody else? I am sure the answer is yes. There's a useful technology, et cetera, et cetera. Does this justify trillions of dollars of perceived wealth? No, it doesn't.
It might amount to trillions of dollars of wealth, eventually.
If they can find a usefulness for it when it's integrated into the economy, it will perhaps facilitate productivity, like many ideas do. Very few ideas of that kind floated around and were capitalized at trillions of dollars, even though they had an enormous impact on the economy. Blockchain should be like one of those.
So maybe not quite as much of a crypto skeptic.
You could say the internet, by the way. The internet has created enormous value, but it didn't float around internet units, which were capitalized and became worth trillions of dollars. And I admire them for not doing that. They deliberately went out of their way to make the internet a facilitator and not a way of amassing money in itself.
You like green as a theme. Are there any other themes or trends that you're willing to bet on?
I'll tell you what I think about the future, and that is the green will turn out to be just a subset of a bigger, more comprehensive issue, and that is, loosely speaking, living within our means. We have simply shot way beyond the long-term capacity of the planet to deal with us. And one of the problems is waste. And this is not just climate change and greenhouse gases, but of course, plastics. It's also poisons. We generate so many toxic chemicals that there is strong indication that the planet is really not conducive to life. We are killing off our insect life. We're killing off all manner of animal life. The world can do just fine without Homo sapiens, but it can't deal without insects because of a cascade effect. All the little critters that eat insects, all the birds that eat insects, all the amphibians, etc. And they begin to go out of business, and then the things that need them and the plants that needed them to be fertilized, one thing after another goes out of business. And so nature is beginning to fail. And in the end, if we don't fix that, we begin to fail as well. And we see that in the toxicity numbers. Human fertility is going to hell. We have 1/3 of the sperm count that we had at the end of World War II. This is not impressive. Mostly we were over-engineered, so we get away with that. But in the last 20 years, we've gone from young couples needing help, a rounding error, to maybe 15% of every young couple in the US now needs help. And that's a more or less a global problem.
So green investing isn't just a way to make money, it's an existential necessity.
It's an existential necessity, and it's part of a bigger problem, living beyond our means. We use up our resources. We put too much pressure on the natural environment. We poison the natural environment. And in that sense, it's a lot bigger issue than climate change writ small.